10 creepiest urban legends that turn out to be real. Urban legends, the spooky stories we tell in the dark, never expecting them to be true. But what if some of them actually happened? Tonight, we're diving into the 10 creepiest urban legends that turn out to be real. Let's begin, and you might want to leave a light on. 1. The body in the bed. You've probably heard this one. A couple checks into a motel, complains about a foul smell, and later find a rotting corpse stuffed under the bed. Well, it's happened multiple times. In 2003, a man's body was found decomposing under a bed in Kansas City, after guests had slept above it for days. 2. The killer in the back seat. A woman's driving at night when a car behind her starts flashing its high beams. She thinks she's being followed. Turns out, the driver behind was trying to warn her. There was a man hiding in her back seat. This has actually happened. In 2014, a South Carolina woman narrowly escaped when a man with a knife was found hiding in her back seat after a stranger warned her. 3. The Bunny Man. Legend tells of a man in a bunny costume attacking people near a Virginia bridge. Sounds ridiculous, right? But in 1970, police received multiple reports of a man dressed in white, wielding an axe, threatening trespassers near Fairfax County. No one knows who he really was. 4. Cropsey. For decades, kids on Staten Island whispered about Cropsey, a boogeyman who snatched children and lived in the woods. Turns out, it wasn't a myth. Andre Rand, a former asylum worker, was convicted of kidnapping and was linked to several child disappearances in the area. 5. Snuff films. Urban legend says real-life murder tapes, called snuff films, are sold on the black market. While most are hoaxes, some have horrifyingly turned out real, like the Luca Magnotta case, where a man filmed himself killing and dismembering his victim, then posted it online. 6. The Green Man, Charlie No Face. People in Pennsylvania told tales of a glowing, faceless man wandering the roads at night. The truth? It was Raymond Robinson, a real man who suffered horrific electrical burns as a child. Disfigured and sensitive to sunlight, he walked the roads at night to avoid attention. 7. The call is coming from inside the house. A babysitter receives creepy phone calls, only to find out they're coming from inside the house. In 1950, this nightmare became real. A babysitter in Columbia, Missouri, was murdered while watching 2 children, and the killer had been calling her from the same house. 8. Hiding in the walls. Imagine feeling watched in your own home, only to discover someone's been secretly living in your walls. In 2008, a man in Japan was arrested after a woman found he'd been living in a small crawl space above her closet, stealing food and watching her for months. 9. The Candy Man. You've heard the urban legend, poison Halloween candy handed out by strangers. In 1974, Ronald O'Brien laced pixie sticks with cyanide and gave them to his children to collect insurance money. His son died. He became known as the Candy Man. 10. The Smiling Man. A strange, grinning man dances in the street and approaches you without a word. Sounds made up until 2013, when a Reddit user shared a terrifying true encounter with a man exactly like that. Other reports surfaced soon after. No one knows who the Smiling Man really is or what he wants. They say every legend has a grain of truth. But in these cases, truth was far more terrifying than fiction. Like, subscribe, and tell us, which legend creeped you out the most? And remember, not every story is just a story.